Good morning, fellow teachers. I'm teacher Dominique and welcome to my classroom. So first of all, I would like to say, how do we move away from books, textbooks for second grade learners? I'm busy teaching now a new topic, which is mapping in social studies, how to read maps and understand maps, as well as the Earth's surface in science. So I have a lot of books, which are incredibly boring for the students. So how can I make it interesting? How can I make my lessons interesting and connect social studies with science? So the first thing I did was ask the students to create clay little sculptures of what they learned during that lesson. So they're labeled river, grass, volcano, and mountain. This is just the introduction of their understanding of the Earth's surface. Then, during social studies class, I got them to draw instead of using the textbooks. Draw their map of how to get to treasure and create a new world of how they're going to get from the mountains using a compass all the way to the treasure chest. And I played a little game where I said, okay, draw a mountain south of a river, and so on and so forth. So they came up with this great little map, each individual, and created a name, and also gave me some clues of how to get to their treasure after I explained which coordinates they need to place or draw each specific Earth's surface. So let's continue. How am I going to grade them or assess them on these different subjects? By project-based learning. So I put together a project. It's called New Earth Challenge. I really enjoy my students being as creative as possible as they're second grade learners, so I put together this project. This is a rubric and instructions, as well as a little checklist. So, according to this, which I created myself, instructions. Students are required to create their own eco-friendly world. Each student will first draw up their draft maps using the compass provided. So here is the space where they can draw and write the coordinates here using their compass rose, which I included in the project pack. There it is. So they can also draw their own one. Then they are encouraged to create their own world. So they need to be creative as possible, because of course that's key for second grade learners. Build places to live, work, play, and grow fast. So they need to create, they can create little anything. I said they can make a fantasy world. So here's an example of little fantasy worlds, such as little fairies or dinosaurs or anything like that, little houses, little mushrooms, little fairies, little rivers, little beaches, anything, as long as it's their own idea and their own creation. Next, they'll have to add places to generate power. So it could be solar power, I'll explain to them. They can even fantasize and use mushroom-powered energy, and include ways to get around their city or their little world. So I've got even a little dinosaur here, little pictures to encourage them so they don't have to think about cars or ways to pollute the world. They must focus on streets and paths and nature using the compass. So another idea would be, what I found from Pinterest is just ideas. It's like more like a Dr. Seuss world, and it just encourages them to create their own ideas. And of course they need to they need to use as much materials as possible. So here's some pipe cleaners, there are some tissue paper, and so on and so forth. Some beads and clay, etc. So I've got a bag, I've got them supplies, and clear instructions of how they can create their own world. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about my project-based learning and stepping away from textbooks and being more creative for the young learners. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.